Hi, this is Jared Pollock, and I am excited that you are back going through this awesome free video course. And what we're going to talk about today is how to love managing people. This is a topic in terms of interacting with people that some people naturally love doing and some people really don't like doing it at all. They'd rather go to the dentist. Not that there's anything wrong with the dentist, but rather go to the dentist than manage and help interact with people on their team. And so I'm going to go over one area that people naturally hate doing, they despise doing, but once you get good at this process and once you set expectations for people on your team to do this, over time you're going to fall in love with management again. And this idea kind of loosely was based on the 1 Minute Manager, a book called the 1 Minute Manager. Very simple book. They talked about 1 minute goals, 1 minute praises, and 1 minute reprimands. And definitely the 1 minute goals and the 1 minute praises are instrumental, but just based on time, we're not going to talk a lot about that. We're going to talk about the one thing that people hate doing, and that is reprimanding people. They hate reprimanding their employees. Leaders just don't like that at all. Managers don't like it at all. And so what I want to do is I want to give you a little process, a little tidbit that, again, it's based mainly on the one Minute Manager book, although there are maybe a few tweaks here and there that I do. And again, this reprimand, it's not a write-up. It's not a formal documentation of something like majorly wrong. This is a reprimand. If you see one of your people doing something that isn't in fit or in line with kind of the direction you have and they know they shouldn't do it, maybe they made a small mistake before, you want to do this type of reprimands. And the first thing you have to do, and I'm going to contrast it to another style, but the first thing you have to do is you really have to directly tell them exactly what they did wrong. And I'm going to give you a little example. And again, they kind of get used to this process after a while, so it becomes actually a little bit more comfortable in some ways. But for example, if someone shows up late and it's not a write-up offense, you'll say something like this. You know, Susan, you were late today. You know that you're supposed to come in at 8 o'clock. You came in at 8:05, and that is completely unacceptable. And then you pause. And you have to give a little bit of an uncomfortable silence and let them feel that you are truly not happy, and it's direct. They have no doubt on what exactly went on, and that's the hardest part right there. But then you always lead with a positive thing. And Susan, the reason I tell you this is because I believe in what you have done for this company. I'm so thankful at all these other great things that you've done. And so you leave them with a good note. You hit them with what they did wrong right up top of the head in a kind, loving, straightforward way. You pause a little bit, let them feel it, and then you leave with something positive they've done in the past, something positive they've done recently. And I want to contrast that to something called the sandwich approach, which is quite different, and a lot of people have been trained on the sandwich approach, which is say one thing positive, then say the negative or the reprimand, and then leave them with the positive. So, you know, hi Susan, you're great. I'm being kind of silly with this example, but hi Susan, you're great. You were late. That's not acceptable. And oh, by the way, I think you're amazing. And so what happens is that kind of reprimand dilutes the effectiveness of the reprimand itself. And so the best thing to do is be straight, honest, to the point, let them know what they did wrong, pause for a moment, and leave with a positive. And I'm telling you, this is just one small element. Again, I help train. This is just one tidbit of information. I help people on a much deeper way based on the people, but that's one thing to think about. And eventually over time, it's going to change behaviors, and then you're going to love managing people. So please take action on that. Give it a try. And again, this is Jared Pollock. Make it happen.